makes 1.5 million visitors a year come here, which is 2.5 times the visitation of Tasmania. You know, why is Byron known around the world more than some Australian capital cities? You know, it's not just because of the beach. For me, it's the community, it's the integrity of the community. It's the fact that people talk about a vibe of Byron, and a vibe is an atmosphere created by the type of people. That's why for me it's really crucial we don't take that for granted, because it didn't happen by accident. It happened because for 30 years the community were willing to say no to the crap they didn't want. They were also really courageous to say yes to a certain lifestyle that they did want. For all its issues in Byron, it's still a hell of a lot better than so many other places because it's got an integrity. If you were looking at Byron and you said we need 1,000 more houses, and I would agree with that over 20 years. The question is, what's the best way of doing it? You know, I don't think there'd be too many people who would say, well, let's build 1,000 houses on the busiest road where there's already a traffic jam on a swampland right next to a fragile creek and in a koala corridor. It's just dumb thinking. It's developer-led planning. It's not community-led planning, and the community is meant to just suck it, but this community won't.
My family's been around here for 4 generations. I came back here to live in Byron Bay because I love Byron Bay, but what is happening at the moment is not what Byron Bay used to be like. The direction it's going in is, okay, you need to have development. You've got to have development to progress through life. When it comes to the cost of the community is when things should be looked at. They're not showing community spirit, not listening to the people, not listening to what is actually happening. They're listening to the people with the money. They're not listening to the people that live here.
Byron is changing as everywhere's changing. It's commercialising too much. People have been saying it's losing the thing that brought them here for years, and it's still bringing more and more people here, so where do you stop? With all the protests over West Byron, I think a lot more people learnt due to the amount of noise that people that are young and switched on made.
Development brings some huge changes. We're trying to stop it with all that we can, and it would definitely threaten many of the things that brought me into this community and so many of us to live simple, quieter lives outside of traffic jams, where koalas have habitat, where we can, find an uncrowded place to surf. It's pretty crucial that we stop this before it gets going. Development goes ahead, then we're going to be, the beginnings of another cookie-cutter suburban sprawl sort of shire, and once that sort of development gets going, then it opens the gates for more and more of those kinds of developments to start spreading in our community, and I think what you'll see today is that's not what we want in our town.
Baby boomers are very happy to say, Gen Yers and those are just lazy and whatever. Again, as a teacher, I've never found that. I've always found the generations who are at school or just graduating the hope for this planet. And I think they're up for it because they're far more world savvy, they're far more aware of the issues, they don't take crap. So I'm really optimistic that the next generation in Byron and wider are a really switched on generation.
The young people's voices are essential for building a community that we inherit from the people that are running things today. I mean, we're really at a tipping point where we're cognizant of major changes. We want to stand up and have our voices be heard and make decisions that create a more sustainable community into the future.
If we don't step up, if another generation doesn't step up, then the previous generation will eventually have to stop, and there will be no one to take the place, and then Byron will change. So if we want to preserve something, we have to take responsibility.